Hello everyone, this video is all about some of our newest books that are focused around starting school or one about returning to school after the summer holidays. So the first one I've got to show you is this one, which is Little Sticker Dolly Dressing Starting School. So if you're not familiar with the Little Sticker Dolly Dressing series, these are a smaller format of the big Sticker Dolly dressing books. My daughter definitely used to prefer this format when she was little, and they're obviously a lot more travel friendly where they are smaller. One of my favourite features of them is the stickers have perforated bits here, so you can tear out the page of stickers, making it much easier for children to do the stickering as they go along. So this goes through all the different elements of school and starting school. So getting ready for school in the first place, arriving at school, finding your peg to hang your things on, music time, we've got a nature table, playing outside, looking at what should I be, so getting children to think about what they might want to do when they're older, all about being outside and growing things, quiet time with books, catch and throw, some more PE, woodland walking, painting, and finally school photos at the end. So I think this book is going to be great for getting kids really excited about school and all the opportunities it brings. Obviously, some kids are very excited about starting school. My daughter definitely was. Other children are going to be a lot more nervous and anxious about it. And I think this book is a calm, quiet way for them to work through their own emotions in their head and work out what it's actually going to be like being at school, and that maybe it's not quite as scary as they thought it might be. And actually, it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun too. So you've got all their lovely outfits to stick on the characters as you go through, and it's quite evenly split between male and female characters as well, which I think is great. So hopefully children will find a character that they can relate to in this book. So I think that's one really good option for children that are starting school in September if they're in the UK, or even earlier. I know some of you guys are going back in August if you're in Scotland or Northern Ireland potentially, or again outside the UK. So great to have this ready to sell to parents who are looking to support their children in that transition to school. We've also got this one, which is Wipe Clean Starting School Activities. So the sticker book, I think, is more for getting them feeling confident about what school might be like, and kind of like quite a mindful activity. This is great for practicing those early pen control skills needed for school. So this is a Wipe Clean book, so you've got the pen attached to the side, and the great thing about these is you can do the activities, wipe them clean, and do them again as many times as you would like. So it goes through the different elements of school. So you've got like getting ready, walking to school, coats and bags, in the classroom, time for lunch, playing outside, painting and drawing, PE, music, going home. So it kind of goes through more chronologically the school day. But it is packed with activities for that school readiness. So using the pen to trace the numbers, so number recognition. There's lots of spot the differences, which is really important for those kind of early skimming, scanning, logic reasoning, early reading skills as well, even but like the pre-reading skills. You've got matching tasks. You've got kind of like maze-based tasks, which is great for that pre-reading, skimming and scanning skills. Again, you've got more trails to follow, more spot the differences, that pen control of drawing between the lines. You've got shapes to go through as well. So there's a lot of learning, pre-reading, pre-writing skills in here, pen control, whilst also learning what it's like to be at school as well. So if your child, I think, is a more kind of active learner, or actually you've got customers that are wanting to work on those early skimming, scanning, pre-reading, pen control skills, then I think this is a great option for those customers. Then we have this one, which is all about starting school. So this is the perfect book, I think, for parents and children to explore and work through together. So this is part of the All About series. So you will have seen things like family, friendship, diversity, feelings, body as well. So you've got a contents page, which is again great if there's a particular area you want to look at. And it covers the kind of real basics of what is school, and it does it in a really beautiful way. So it really is very inclusive in terms of its reach around the world. And I think it's great for children to learn how schools can be different in different countries and different cultures and what that means. What you need to go to school is covered. You've got getting ready, getting to school, what's in a classroom, the types of people they might see at a school, which I think is great to familiarise children with the different adults they might come across and be working with, helping them to know what they might do at school, all the kind of extracurricular excitement, lunchtime, which I think is always a bit of a concern, making friends, school trips, different types of schools around the world. There's a lovely section about how do you feel about going to school. So again, great for opening up those conversations with children and the worries they might be facing there. You've got some useful school words. So again, good for vocabulary building and giving the children the confidence that they can verbalise what they are thinking or feeling. And as there always is in these books, there's some notes for grown-ups in the back about school readiness and supporting children in being ready for school and the things that you can help them with to help them feel more prepared about school as well. And there's loads of ideas of things that you can do with your children. So I think there's some really good options in terms of a book to really talk through what school means, what it is, what feelings have you got around that. A book that focuses on those early school skills like pen control and pre-reading skills. And a book that's just kind of like a gentle, calm way for children to familiarise themselves with what school might look like for them. The final book, I don't have it to show you. I've got another example of a book in the same series. So it is a Billy and the Mini Monsters series called Monsters Go Back to School, which I'll show you the webpage for in a second. But in case you haven't seen a Billy and the Mini Monsters book, I just wanted to show you those. So these are first chapter books. They have full colour illustrations, which I think is great for children. They're comic strips. Well, they mix kind of comic strip style with straight text. And they're all about a character called Billy who has a lot of anxieties and worries, and he's helped through those by his collection of mini monsters. And when we say helped, they always try to help and it always goes a little bit wrong, but there's always kind of a learning at the end of how Billy can deal with that particular fear or anxiety. So these are really, really great to open up those conversations with children, particularly children that find it easier to talk about how a character might be feeling versus how they might be feeling. And again, it is about opening up those conversations. So if I just share my screen, I'll show you the one that is about to come out. So the one that is coming out shortly is this one, which is Billy and the Mini Monsters, Monsters Go Back to School. There is also a video flick through of this if you want to have a look through before making a decision about whether to recommend this book to your customers or not. But essentially, the premise of this book is that actually Billy is really anxious about going back to school, and there are so many things that he's worried about, which I know is really common for children after the long summer holidays. And so his monsters come up with a plan to help him. So, for example, his school uniform is absolutely enormous because his mum wants him to grow into it. There's kind of talk about the new pencil case, which I think we all remember that from school. And just, yeah, all these kind of strategies, anxieties, worries, and the Millie monsters causing trouble, but helping Billy to feel better about everything and to work through his fears and anxieties. So yeah, great for children that are worried about going back to school, or actually children that have had that gap between finishing nursery school or preschool and getting ready to start big school and kind of return to that educational setting and return to that time away from mum and dad. So lots of lovely options for you to offer your customers who have children that are about to start school or that are going back to school and want that extra love and help and support. So I hope that was useful, and enjoy sharing these books with your customers.